You have 7:08 and you're good.
Welcome, my name is Shannon McHugh, and thank you for joining us for our meeting for Commission on Community Relations and Human Rights for the City of Oneonta. Today is March 24th, 2022. I am going to call to order. We're going to begin with a roll call. So Commissioner Deandra Saghetti Daniels. Commissioner Franklin Chambers is excused. Commissioner Reverend Marty. I'm here. Commissioner Paul Conway.
Here.
Commissioner Carroll is excused. Commissioner Anita is excused. And then our council member Liaison Murphy. I'm here. We're here. We do have a quorum even with our excused commissioners. So our first piece of business is going to be approving minutes. Yay. So the first set of minutes we are going to approve are for January 22nd, or I'm sorry, January 27th. January 27th. Has everyone got a chance to look at them? I will. So we have a motion from Deandra. We need one more. We need a second.
Second.
Those are seconds. All those in favor of passing January 27, 2022 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Our January 27, 2022 minutes are approved. The next set of minutes to be approved are from our special meeting from March 10th, 2022. Everyone had a chance to look at those. Deandra's our first motion.
Are you allowed to do that if you weren't there?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I did read the minutes. We just need a second.
A second, even though I wrote.
Yeah.
Okay, a second.
Awesome. All those in favor of passing our March 10th, 2022 minutes, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome. So our March 10th, 2022 minutes are passed. Does anyone have any correspondences or announcements? No, we're all good. Look, we're all good. So for this meeting, we're going to touch on Trailblazer and possible creation of a service award for committee members. But I'm kind of curious what people's feelings are about waiting until kind of everyone's here in the next meeting. Carol is on her way back.
Not a bad idea to postpone. Frank was very much involved in the
Right.
discussion last time. And it would add to our interaction, I think.
I agree.
So maybe we can move to discuss the Trailblazer Award, you know, shifting it, and then this possible creation of a service award to our next meeting. Maybe we can kind of make that like the pinnacle of what we're working on in April. And everybody is here.
Does anyone know the exact date of the April meeting?
28. Thank you, Carrie. As per the Trelliser Ceremony, so it is on the 31st, and it is at Foothills from 6 to 8. I've notified all the winners and or the people who've nominated them. So we'll get a nice little turnout. If anything, it'll be a nice learning, you know, because our first time doing it up would be fancy, getting it out of City Hall. So we'll learn from this, if anything.
Publicity is important if people have it.
We've kind of, we've had it in a lot of different spaces. I'm not sure how else we can get it out. All your suggestions?
other than contact radio and Daily Star and all at Seagull, I don't have any.
Yeah, I will say I've like dropped the ball on like advertising for it, so this next week I'll put a little intention to it.
Okay. Cause we haven't had it out there and like all the like spaces we could possibly push it without paying for. I don't even know how you would pay to promote it more than
Yeah,
that. Word of mouth is the biggest deal. I basically was just like, invite your whole family, invite your friends,
right,
invite everybody. I want to have everybody. I'm not sure if Kate Sinian is gonna make it or not. We may be down one winner.
Who was that?
Kate Sinian, she may not be making it.
Okay.
Food. That is the next one. Carrie and I were just talking about it. Do you know any, but like, do you have any?
so I guess and I was gonna message you, but I don't get a meeting tonight, I'm confused on like why it couldn't be from a kitchen.
So, because it's gotta be like from like health standards, health department standards.
So it has to be from like a registered caterer or.
It has to be from like, somebody who's a cook or a chef or a baker, or does these things. I was just told it can't be like our kitchen. Just per Foothills, not us.
No, I understand because someone has to be like liable if it's someone gets sick from it. That's kind of what I was thinking, but
Well, it's like Department of Health has to have, you know, inspected, like, that's what they come through our kitchen a lot at church because of Saturday's breath. So we're, you know, it's a kind of organization, it's considered.
so.
There's also
Cooking
like,
ourselves isn't enough, unless we cooked at some established restaurant.
there's a lot of people like, who are like certified bakers, who like bake at home, their kitchens are certified. Like, they have that kind of.
I don't know, I'm a pretty good cook, I have a large family, and it doesn't seem like there's gonna be too big of a turnout. So I felt like, you know, save costs, and also too, I haven't done much fundraising at all. I could cook, but
Probably come to our church and cook there.
was she getting chicken rice and beans?
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
If that's the case, then I'd like to like actually make funding to do that, right? I wouldn't do that now.
Well, also too, in my mind, I was saying, oh, if I pay for it, then I will submit it, then next year will be just for our budget increase, would be because we don't have enough funds.
Okay, so I was just notified that things are different now and that, I'm learning this too as we go. That we now, if we know ahead of time we're gonna do it, it has to be run by Carrie and by finance before we buy these things and we have to purchase it.
I'm just your way there.
Okay, Carrie, yeah, she's done.
Is there an official like application for it or? Okay. Just informally shoot you an email and say, hey, listen,
We're gonna be expending these funds and this is what they're for. We have to make sure that they're within the budgetary allowance. We give a purchase order. Yeah, she did confirm that time at 2, so we're good on that.
The what? I'm sorry.
2:00 on Monday.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yes, I was speaking with Jenny on Monday about how we are purchasing things, but, the city is very careful about how it's spending money, so we have to be a little, we're used to just kind of like spending money and submitting receipts. And it's not gonna be like that, but we can do it like, if it's like an emergency, or like say we have an event and we like realize we forgot plates and we forgot napkins, we can go buy it. But like, that's not what they'd like us to typically do, they'd like us to run into this.
So Reverend Marty, if it's cool with you, I'm still very open to cooking, I could cook at church.
I think so, but when we do it that day, on Thursday, or?
Thursdays are my day off, so it would be a good day, and plus it would be like fresh. And then
Well, I can help.
paper, like plates, forks, knives and cups, is that we'll probably just need like, works in a bowl. Because, rice, beans, and chicken, it'll be all in one pot, which is the best kind of stuff to make.
Absolutely.
So like 25 people, you think we should expect?
Oh, I think it's gonna be more than that.
40, 50?
I would look more towards the 50 range.
Okay.
It may be.
I'll check tomorrow and I'll get right back to you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm curious, do we know if any council members are going? Luki, are you? Are you doing that? Okay, because typically they come down before council meetings, but since we're having it elsewhere. I was gonna send like a mass email out to everybody to see if they're willing to come.
I think that'd be a nice,
Yeah,
and there are no meetings that night.
Well, okay, so I will do that. I didn't want to be creeper.
I did let them know, the date at our last meeting, but it seems like I would know. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, in past years, it's almost always been cookies and fruits and dessert kind of stuff. So you're gonna have rice and beans?
I was thinking either rice and beans or like a pasta dish. Those are two things that I feel like I could cook in bulk.
I think both are great, actually.
Because it's
Not to
like
make
a
it good,
dinner.
Marty, did you say you'd be able to help?
If she needs help.
I'm
Yeah.
a very good cook. I always need help. I like being supported.
So I'll just check in with our Saturday spread people. They're not usually cooking that day, but I will double check.
Okay, cool. So Paul, if I'm hearing you correctly, you'd like some desserts.
Well, that's what we've had in the past, that's what most people probably, if they're coming a second time or third time from previous years will expect. And it's usually a little in the middle of dinner time or even after for some people.
Right, well, this
So-
is 6, so
Mhm.
it's like,
Okay, this will be maybe around dinner time.
right, which is why rice and beans are great and pasta's great. But we definitely can have desserts. So I guess, Carrie, this will be the thing where it's like, maybe I'm going and buying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know Price Chopper does like a nice assorted cookie tray. You could look into that, or Walmart or something.
The city has an account with Hannaford as well, which might be a benefit.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Is there any systems in place about making sure there's no contaminants going into the water, to the food for the protection of the public, the Department of Health, obviously agriculture and the animals? But is that regulated like by EPA still or? Yeah?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we were just talking about making sure we're doing a approved kitchen space, so like.
Okay, because I like to actually defend the farmers and the animals that we actually that contribute to our community, that we actually eat.
I'm all about that. Without farmers, we don't have food.
Exactly, especially the one up, what is it, by New Berlin, the yogurt company.
Chobani.
Yes,
Mhm.
make sure that they're getting proper food, water, no animal abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have an account at Hannaford. How does that work then?
I have.
Don't tell me that. There's a
I have a card, but you don't touch it, so.
That's all.
Oh, great, so I can get the plates and forks and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so we'll definitely Monday, because if we have a plan, if you have a roundabout number for Monday, then we can get that all set up and maybe we'll take a.
I would love that.
What room in the foothills is?
Oh, it's gonna be in a beautiful atrium,
Okay.
which could have as much, like, there's no way we're filling that thing, but Jeff is doing a great job. He's gonna have like tables and chairs, but then he's gonna have high tables and chairs if people wanna sit, or stools, high tables and stools, if people wanna like stand and talk. There's a projector. I've been asking everyone for pictures and everyone goes, ugh. Like, no pictures. So I don't know if we're gonna get any pictures. but
Oh, we
there's-
have, right, we're getting them for.
Oh, okay, there's a projector for us, and we want to utilize it to project pictures of them onto. There's also gonna be, run by the foothills, there's going to be a bar, which they will ID people, and they will charge what have you, so there will be.
Music wise?
Jeff is gonna go ahead and just like do a Spotify playlist of like, or. Cause we talked about like maybe getting like live bands, like live people, because I know a couple live bands. It might take away from like what we're doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it can be something in the future we decide to add. It's like first time figuring it out.
So where do we send the pictures?
To my email,
To your email?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, because Joyce tried to play me and tell me that the only picture she had was from the newspaper like 15 years ago. I'm like, Joyce, I know better. So I was like, I'm just going to Marty.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like to this year, we can take photos and then use them for next year's.
True, that would be wonderful.
There's a small.
Have past winners up there as well.
Do the winners like give a little speech or,
Typically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this will be my first one, so.
Yeah.
Nice
typically,
event.
so we, like, I kind of announce what's going on, and then, we present, you know, I call the first person up, I give the proclamation to the mayor then reads the proclamation of thanks to, the person who's won, and then they give like a little spiel, like a little speech. And we just are gonna do that 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Cool. Do we have a color scheme?
We do not, because I didn't think we had color scheme money, so. But if we're planning an event in the future of this year that it can apply to,
Sure.
if we have an event with a similar color scheme we can think of, it may be effective to have them. Oh, but if I'm buying paper plates and forks.
Well, that's kind of why I said color scheme, I was like,
Right.
like what color?
Well, what is Hannaford, like, well.
Do they sell flowers? That would be nice.
They
Just
do.
like one or-
So, one of the past winners, I think she was the first winner. She will be giving out some flowers, so that is an expense we don't have to incur. Nice. Yes, I just have to connect with her.
The last kind of thing I guess I would be curious about is if the foothill has any kind of like how would we be presenting the food, like displaying it? Is that something we would be responsible for, or do they have like, you know, those heated trays?
They do not, I don't believe that they do. I think we're kind of responsible for it. But I'm pretty sure Hannaford sells them. Those, with the little, I know pretty sure
What do
they
they call
have
them?
them.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the heating.
I think we have them at church. I'll double check.
Okay. I know Price Chopper sells them, the trays with the little heating element.
Okay, and since now that I know it's at Hanover, I could go online and look at their. Cause that's what I did for Juneteenth, just to get like an estimate of like how much.
So why don't you find what you need and then message it to me, and then I can go shopping with Carrie's cart.
Shake a mama. Okay, yeah, that'll work. You guys are meeting Monday, so I'll get it to you probably Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's cool. Paul, did you have anything you wanted to have there that you're not hearing?
At the event?
Yeah.
No, I've always been pleased by the way it's been run in the past, and cookies and fruit and good congenial atmosphere.
I can't promise that, sorry.
I get a little rowdy myself.
Carrie, the engraving of the plaques, is that mine?
That's your budget, but
Right.
I will reach out to them.
Okay, thank you. And then the frames for the awards.
Typically were brought, so I don't know what they use.
A birdie might have told me. That they're from Walmart. But I would have to get permission to buy them. Can I just send a link?
Those I know will be approved expenses, so you can go ahead. Those I know are okay.
Okay. I know they're, okay, yeah. I think that's really good. Just making sure, putting it on our social media, we're getting it out there. We could run it in the paper again, right?
Where is the reservation link? On the city website?
There, it's on the city page, the Inland Arts Commission page.
I haven't myself.
On
either.
Facebook?
But I will.
Yes.
I will get on that immediately.
The only reason we did the tickets was to just get a general idea.
Okay, cool.
But
How many have gotten?
many people have not.
14 on the Facebook page. No, but that's not Eventbrite, that's, I can only see the Facebook side.
There's 14 people saying they're going on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's pretty difficult though,
I'm gonna look.
so far,
Um,
and masks are gonna be optional.
That's whatever the policy of Foothills
City.
and
Foothills is,
and you guys, that's.
Foothills is optional.
Can I say something about that? Or no? Like, isn't it like constitutional right to breathe? Wouldn't that be like getting in the way of that? Especially if there was something on it that like, cause I got one of those like contaminated ones and it cost me. You know,
But like, see how like Paul doesn't have one, Marty doesn't.
Yeah,
do,
I
he
actually
does.
reported that to the Department of Health already. I don't know if they listened, but I reported a lot of things. I'm not sure if they actually heard me.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to be respectful of each individual's choice.
Okay, yeah.
That's why some of us have them on and some don't.
Yeah, I totally understand why.
I would say went to church if they could, and other than everyone had masks on.
Because it would be their choice.
We're doing it at our church, but it is your choice. because some people-
Can I say another thing? The one I got from Bassett Health down in Fox, I think it was towards Price Chopper, that kind of gave me something on my face. That, oh my gosh, it smells so bad and it's hard, like,
There's only 10 off of Eventbrite.
Man.
And that was
So maybe it's a
all
total of 25.
well, no, because that's
Some of them
there's
may
you
be
and Luke
concurrent.
and me and Carrie and Marty and Paul and everybody, and then, but that was only from one person, one of the winners.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
That's just one
Maybe
winner.
no, I mean 25 responses.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's not necessary that they're doubled. Like, I wouldn't imagine someone would reply to both. Or maybe they would, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking like 50 to 70. I mean, typically, I think, well, last time it was a lot because we piled in from baseball. But it's typically
We had
like
4 winners last year and we had the large group.
yeah,
Overcook.
the always.
Leftovers are great.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions about the Trailblazer events? You could always message me. Yes, we're good. We're going shopping. Okay, I guess let's move on to the Juneteenth celebration.
I'd like to propose the company sponsors Juneteenth in the form of insurance, covering the event's insurance.
You'd like to propose, what was that? I'm sorry.
That this commission sponsors Juneteenth again.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if that's a conflict of interest or.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Last year, we kind of did it, well, we did it last year, and we wanted to do more, but we didn't have the budget.
What was the cost of insurance?
I don't think there was, we didn't incur costs for the insurance
Coverage
coverage.
was donated.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
So I motion that we do cover the cost of insurance for Juneteenth. All those in favor of covering insurance for the Juneteenth celebration, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? It is so passed that we will provide the insurance for the Joutin Fellowship. And hopefully in future years, we can do more than that.
A little biased, but this year is gonna be pretty great.
Yeah.
Last year was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun last year, too.
I think this year we're drawing a little bit more attention to like production and operation to make sure like everything's smoother.
Cool.
Felt like I was putting out a lot of fires last year.
Oh, really? Because it didn't feel like fires. Everybody was just
Nobody
having a
could
good time.
tell.
Oh, that's good.
Nobody could tell.
You're the only one who knew those fires. You just snitched on yourself.
So is it gonna be this Saturday, cause I know Juneteenth, it's up on Sunday.
So we haven't put in our permit yet, but we're hoping for Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
It's gonna be a midday event, so everyone should be home by a reasonable hour.
Can I say something else? Is there like any programs or anything to offer more education, knowledge to New York State residents on the like US Constitution, the Supreme Law, to refrain New York State from getting possibly, God forbid, sued anymore and costing taxpayers money? Because sometimes they're put in a situation where their rights are violated based on, I don't wanna say, but maybe ethnicity, race, creed, religious beliefs, like, I believe they have, like, the people that are defending the public, as well as nurses, doctors, lawyers, they all have to know. So we can actually save New York State money instead of, you know, paying for it with literal lives and violence and all this stuff, when if, you know, people knew their rights, and so did everybody, there would be like less lawsuits and less violence, I believe.
It's interesting you say that because we used to run a Know Your Rights workshop before COVID.
That sounds perfect.
We're gonna get right back to that as soon as we're allowed to enter the court again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there's a lot of organizations that's kind of working towards that specific goal, like educating the public.
That would be amazing, because that would save taxpayers and businesses and like maybe even New York State would be saved. And there would be less, you know, we wouldn't have to fund a whole bunch of money to do all these, you know, we don't have to have so many people out there putting their lives at risk if situations can happen to begin with. I don't know if you guys are talking, but
Most definitely. Did you need help in any other spaces or like anything like for Juneteenth? Like, is there anything we can ask other people for? or
I
what?
will say the day of, I was looking for volunteers. And financial support, obviously. But other than that, our planning committee is really organized this year. I'm very excited about that. Akil's on it.
Oh, no.
So there was probably like 4 or 5 of us, maybe 6. Yeah, 6. So we're chipping away. As it gets a little closer, it'll be a little bit more hands-on. Now we're kind of just cooling down, like, you know, when we're gonna have it and like possible sponsorships. One thing that we kind of been hitting a roadblock on is just looking for Black-owned vegan options for food.
Oh, yeah.
There's one out like 2 hours away, but I've already had their food and I think it was so great. So I wouldn't love to pay for them to come to Oneonta and serve like not great food, but so if any, I'm open to suggestions if you guys know of any Black-owned vegan restaurants or food trucks.
No, lot of vegan food.
So yeah, we worked out a contract with the Ccrr, they're gonna provide some of the desserts. It wasn't cost efficient for them to have any vegan options. So we won't go that route with them, but we're still open to.
I know a lot of vegan places. How far out, like, how far away can they?
It could be from anywhere, I just haven't had much luck in getting people too far, because it's not really worth the travel, especially when we're talking food and they have to bring it, you know.
Let me,
But this year's theme is gonna be health and wellness. So, you know, Black vegans are a growing population.
they are higher than, yeah.
So, you know, keeping that in mind, when we're servicing that community or our community, I guess. So open for suggestions.
Have you talked to Cabral with the Caribbean?
Yes, so one of the planning committee, she's actually like, we're trying to do a fundraiser there. But we haven't, you know, fleshed out total, what that's gonna look like and his involvement and that kind of stuff. The only people we've like kind of solidified deals with would be the Ccrr and Big Al's Barbecue.
Cabral, by the way, is a singer, an entertainer, he'd be terrific as a possibility
Yeah,
as you plan a
I
program.
remember too from last year. I think, sorry, I listened to his, like, remix. I don't know, or maybe that was someone sent me their track.
Probably cute.
Yeah, I have it,
It's probably cute.
So, yeah,
No, let me work on the vegan thing.
Can I just add one more thing? Is there anything New York State is doing, like I wanna start my own like prison ministry and reach out to people that are actually stuck in the system. Is New York State doing anything for those people, like?
Prison ministries?
Yeah, like, are they reaching the people that are in prison and making sure that, they're not? I mean, I know it's a difficult question, but
New York
basically,
State
people with
does have a
families
chaplaincy
that have,
program in the prisons.
do they have visitors and volunteers going to
Yeah,
see them? And
They have paid
Okay.
chaplains.
They
in
do?
prisons, absolutely. Yep. New York State, I'm on the board of New York State Council of Churches that credentials them.
I know.
Are there any programs to have them like refrain from winding up in prison or jail?
I know people in the city.
well,
I'm
because
sure
I think we're
lots of
doing this fundraiser.
Are there?
We have a Otsego jail ministry.
Do you? Do they need
And it
volunteers?
depends on like what they're.
Could well be,
Ideally.
if you
I would
have an
like to
internet,
have some
you
kind of
you
like
have the internet, you can go on, want to look
dish.
at.
Oh, sorry.
So
Otsego
like
jail
Big Al's
ministry.
gonna have a side of meat and a rice, so something equally like that for weekends. Yeah, like, for the event itself, last year we had a lot of flow through, so this year we put a little bit of an intention on like keeping people there, and part of that is having, a sustainable meal. So, something that'll stick with you through the hot day and
I think
not
that's
get
good,
hungry.
because I think we just had the hamburgers last year, which I don't
Yeah.
eat, so. I didn't get anything.
Yeah, we only had hamburger and hot dogs, which is not great for people who are like, a little bit more health conscious or vegetarians or vegans, so. This year, we're definitely trying to be more inclusive, and now that we have the sponsorship with Kano, that kind of opens up a little.
Right, now, so now it's now we're on the profit status, right? So places like Stewart's, they will, if you go to them and tell them how many people you think you're gonna have, I think it has to be,
I'm actually familiar with their donation process only because I'm hopefully applying for one of their grants.
okay. Because they are, like for NAACP, they always gave me Sunday kits, always.
Yeah,
Without
they,
question.
last year I had asked them to provide, asked if they could, and it was just a little too close to the event. So this year, now that we have, a couple months in advance, I think.
Home Depot will also provide like, they do these like building kits for kids, and if you give them enough notice, they'll collect all the unused kits and give them to you to bring over, and the kids, like, we just set up a space, and let the kids like have at it, and like. Okay, but anyway, I digress, let me work on the vegan thing.
And then if anyone is interested in like day of, we are gonna have like booths and like a bouncy house. But I think for safety reasons, it has to be chaperoned. So we're just looking for volunteers to kind of man stations.
Is the bouncy house private owned, or are you running it from someone?
Renting it. There's a place actually in Oneonta, what it's called, Rentals to Go.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I like got a rough estimate about it. Pretty reasonable, they're gonna set it up and then take it down, so I love that kind of stuff. Oh, I don't have to do anything great.
I'd be happy to help in whatever way.
We need testing.
Testing? I would love participants, so I specifically asked if adults can go in the back bouncy house, and they were like, absolutely. So, we're comfortable clothes. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Oh, this is actually another way maybe members can like help participate. We're thinking of having like not like a medic station, but just kind of like anticipating hot sunny day,
Hmm.
shade and like water and places to like calm. Cool.
Station.
Yeah, like a cool down station, so I think, you know, just in case someone like gets a cut knee or something, it'd be nice to have like maybe a black nurse or someone there, or a black EMT worker. And if you know of anyone who would wanna like participate in that function and use their expertise, let me know.
I am a medic,
Okay?
Don is a medic.
Okay. Oh, Don?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to work with Don, yeah, if you guys send me his information.
I will ask him.
I'll have him on. Yeah, I think it would be nice. We're also kind of like getting into practice in the sense that like each year we hope to double in size, so like, you know, once it gets a little bit bigger, these kind of things are really important, so once we already know how to do it and run it, when it's small, it'll be like, you know, safety first type of thing. So. Yeah, so those are the ways I'm looking for support. If you can help, reach out to me. If you can't, just come for the day. We're giving out, everything's free this year.
Isn't there like Operation Lifesaver? You contact them probably.
I'm not familiar with that, actually.
Oh. Okay.
Does anybody have any other, like, correspondence, announcements, anything good of the commission?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest I haven't forgotten, but I know the commission's been busy. Maybe after Trailblazer Week, as a commission, I'm happy to CC you on an email to introduce you to Michelle Shandella. She gave a really phenomenal presentation with Michelle that lived and still lived in upstate New York. I think it might be anything for the commission to participate in, obviously, if that's something that everybody here feels strongly about. I don't vote, but I'm happy to help.
Okay.
And I'm happy to touch base, maybe we can touch base in April once things have calmed down a little bit, if you'd like to do
Yeah,
that.
let's bring it back up in April, because April, we're gonna hopefully be able to resolve what Trailblazer looks like and all that good stuff. And then we can take on stuff like that.
Fantastic, sounds good.
I'm assuming, is there a 4th of July parade?
Monthly, I would presume, but we've not yet received that application.
Ooh, okay,
No, it's not abnormal.
okay.
They still got some time.
She was like, do you know how to spell her last name?
No, but it was really quick.
John, 2 or 3 months ago, Deandra had the good idea when there was a real dearth of blood available for people who were in need, that we had a blood mobile come down here. And at that time, a couple of phone calls, found out that Foothills would be glad to do it, and Syracuse would be glad to send their people down, as long as they have a place. So I'm not sure if anything's been
Yeah.
considered since then.
I had reached out to the college and they told me, I actually went to it at the Foothills. It was a really pleasant experience. I thought the workers there were really like reassuring. It was my first time donating blood and everything went smoothly. They had like a good turnout and stuff. I think there was like 45 appointments that day, which is good. But yeah, I think somehow we should still, I think there's always a need for blood, right?
So if we decide to do it, it's just a matter of asking Foothills, and they are very anxious to do it. There's no problem on their end, so it would be doable.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna be a little reserved with asking Foothills for their space, just because it does cost them in their house for their space. And they're doing things for free, cause I think for months that we can use their space as well, for, you know, we're not employed
They
necessarily.
could have tried to get.
You know what I'm saying, Foothills making money, I wanna, cause they're really great, they're really open to having us be down there for whatever we need, but kind of like reserving it for. We kind of really want it.
I don't think Foothills would see it as something they're doing for us, but we would basically get the ball rolling, and they'd be glad to do it for anybody.
Yeah.
That's the way it sounded from Jeff.
Okay.
You can check with him.
Yeah.
But I don't
Maybe
think
even
it's
at
in
the high
his
school.
position.
I feel like the Oneonta High School could play a role in our committee too, you know, the school is like the center of our community. So, you know, seeing them getting like younger people, their families there to like learn about the information. I think a lot of the times people don't do things because they're not familiar with it. But it's pretty simple. Now that I know how to do it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give blood every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know?
I know. So was the Red Cross in Syracuse that you said?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
and just another quickie here, which is just a kind of an aside in parentheses. Did anybody happen to catch Cory Booker's speech?
Oh, wasn't that something else?
Wow.
Oh, man.
If you
Yeah,
haven't
all
caught it,
blind.
that was one of the most
Man,
powerful
man,
speeches
man.
I've heard in my whole life.
That was amazing.
He was so
He was preaching.
strong
He was
and
preaching.
eloquent. I couldn't believe it. So if you catch it on YouTube, it's worth it.
Is this up the confirmation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Something really beautiful about, you know, a man of color supporting a woman of color.
Amen,
It was
amen.
beautiful.
Publicly and emotionally and raw.
Powerful
It was
stuff.
emotional. It was
Yeah.
really that,
I
as
met
well as,
Cory Booker in
Thoughtful.
Washington during the Women's March. I got a photo with him. He was really nice.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
oh, that's awesome.
He was for the longest time dating Rosario Dawson, was a really cool
Yes.
actress. I don't think
I remember that. It was like very like, ooh. Okay. I think we're all finished. I think we're gonna call an earned farm meeting. It is 7:50.